Deb, one of the things that we're looking for as we open the ministry is just where do we start? And probably there's a significant need just within our church. So what do you see as kind of the first door that's going to open for the ministry?
Yes, we just are looking for people within our church right now that need help or know of others in their community, their neighborhood, that are going through a cancer diagnosis that could use some support, and we're here for them. And we're hoping they'll reach out to us and let us know. And beyond that, we want to reach anyone in Collin County that needs help, anyone they know, friends, neighbors, just to reach out to us because we're here and that's what we want to do, to grow our volunteer base, to get more people in the church, just to help us serve in this wonderful ministry. Like Carolyn said earlier, if it's just on a prayer team, you can pray from home, or if you're able to take a meal, or if you're able to drive someone, or help with child care, just those things mean so much. So that's our vision, is just to reach out to as many people as we can, just to help them and support them, and especially here in our church.
Now, Julie, I know that some of the other ladies have shared some of their ministry experience in helping folks out. I know you've had a similar situation. Tell us about that.
Well, when I was at my very last chemo treatment, I'll never forget the date, it's November 28th, I was sitting in the lobby, and my husband had gone with me that time, and it was one of those situations at UT Southwestern where you don't always sit in the same lobby, and Stephen was with me, and so we were sitting out in the front lobby, and I was just sitting there waiting for my name to be called, and there was this lady that was kind of at the view that you are, and I just couldn't quit looking at her. There was just this weird connection, this weird bond, and I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't know what to do. And I sat there and I said, you know what, Lord, be with her. She, I could just tell that, she needed prayer, and she was scared too. She was obviously going through cancer. She had a cute little hat on like I did, with our little hats. And, I just went on. I went on with my day, and I went in and got my chemo and left, and I honestly didn't think anything else of it. And then it was, when the cancer ministry started up more and we got involved more, and it was, I think, April, Debbie had sent out a link from a family that, through the church that we had, asked to pray for. And so we said, of course, we will pray for her. And so I'd gone on, to the link that Debbie had sent out and asked, the class if we'd be willing to take a meal. And so I signed up, and it was, a crazy weekend. I think my husband was out of town and baseball tournament, but I felt led to do this. I felt, so many people had helped me on almost the last year of my cancer journey. And so I went and I made a meal, and I took it over to this family, and the husband answered the door, and he was just so kind. I mean, and their little girl, just a 2-year-old little girl, just came running up to me. I mean, and I didn't even know her, but she was just the cutest little thing. So I'm just sitting there in their house talking to, the husband, and he had just said, that his wife Marie had gone to lay down. She wasn't feeling well. And I said, that's completely, fine, I understand. And so I was actually on my way out, and I heard a door open, and I looked over, in that direction, and it was the lady from UT Southwestern. And I looked at her, and I said, I remember you. And she said, I remember you too. And I just immediately, my body just, changed. It was just an amazing feeling. And I got back in the car, and I called Debbie, and I said, you're never gonna believe this. And I said, I had this just amazing connection. I couldn't explain it. Back on November 28th at UT Southwestern. And now I know why. And that's when I knew, that was my moment of knowing that God was going to work in my life, and this is what I needed to do.
I'm Carolyn Freeman. I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm a part of the Cottonwood Creek Cancer Ministry.
I'm Debbie Williams. I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm so happy to be a part of the Cottonwood Creek Cancer Care Ministry.
I'm Julie Carlock, and I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm a part of Cottonwood Creek Cancer Ministry.